Aw, Rick. We'll follow you anywhere. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things we'd want to see in the Rick Grimes movie.
I killed 2 people myself because of you. And Carl. And the baby. It was gonna be me and not them, no matter what.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be compiling the questions we want answered, themes we'd like to see explored, and events that might hopefully occur within the recently announced trilogy of Rick Grimes films from the Walking Dead franchise. We're also putting a spoiler alert here, as we're going to be discussing the events of the show's current season.
What you wanted for me, for Carl, it hasn't been easy.
Number 10. What's up with those helicopters? Rick Grimes' final episode of The Walking Dead left its audience with a lot of unanswered questions, not the least of which was the deepening of Jadis' enigmatic past.
He's hurt, but he's strong. Can you help him?
I warned you there'd be consequences if you tried something.
Not a trick. Not anymore.
Titled What Comes After, the episode closes with Rick being taken away on one of the mysterious helicopters that have popped up now and then over the last couple of seasons. Jadis is clearly connected with the people behind the walkie-talkies in some way, shape, or form, and we'd like to see their relationship explained a bit further in one of the Expanded Universe Grimes films.
No! I'm here! I'm here!
Number 9. What's the difference between an A and B person? Continuing on the subject of Anne, also known as Jadis, she's also made it a point to tell Father Gabriel that there's a definite difference between an A and B person.
And all this time, I thought you were a B.
Now, judging by the fact that Jadis very nearly murders Gabriel in The Obliged, after telling him that she'd assumed he was a B up until that point, we can assume that being a B is a positive thing.
I'm a better person because of you.
And I'm sorry. It was all for nothing.
Still, a proper explanation as to the differences between these labels and what they mean to the people in the helicopters would make us just a little less confused.
You learned before or after?
Don't learn. This. Come to know.
Number 8. Rick settles on a look. If we can just get serious for a moment, will Rick Grimes have a beard? Yeah, we know this may be a frivolous aesthetic to most, but as Rick Grimes superfans, we are dying to know. Okay, all kidding aside, there has been fan speculation as to the on-again, off-again nature of Andrew Lincoln's facial hair, and we're honestly curious as to how he's going to be presented physically in the trilogy of films.
We're just cleaning up.
I can see that. You still have some shaving cream on your chin.
Will there be a large leap forward in time? Will Rick have become grayer or put on weight, or just have adopted a different look altogether? We're really looking forward to these films to find out.
Well.
Number 7. Further crossovers with Fear the Walking Dead. Not every fan of The Walking Dead watches its sister show Fear the Walking Dead and vice versa. But if you've been remotely paying attention to either show, then you'll know that there have been character crossovers in the past.
You are hurt. Come back with me.
Morgan, played by Lenny James, is the main player here, but Rick, Carol, and Jesus all made appearances in the 4th season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. So who knows if anyone from that show's cast could appear in the Rick Grimes trilogy? Stranger things have certainly happened in the Walking Dead universe, and it could breathe new life into the franchise.
Like I said, you can hide, but you can't run.
Number 6. Rick loses his hand. Die-hard readers of the Walking Dead comic series have all been waiting with bated breath for the televised moment when Officer Rick Grimes finally loses his hand. The source material actually had this happen to Rick way back when the group was facing the governor, but the AMC show still hasn't pulled the trigger on this iconic comic book moment.
I thought you'd take responsibility.
I thought you were a cop, not a lawyer.
It isn't like we're actively rooting for something bad to happen to our hero, but given that this has always been kind of a big deal, maybe it'll take some big screen business for it to actually get filmed. Number 5. New climates and locations. Like many TV shows and feature films, The Walking Dead calls the rural locales of Georgia home. That being said, the prospect of 3 Rick Grimes-centered movies, and the fact that he was taken away in a chopper, means that the character can now be bound for just about anywhere. Rick could be whisked away to the east or west coasts, further down south, or even up to the Great White North of Canada for a while. Who knows? We think a change of scenery and climate could do both Rick and the walkers a bit of good. Number 4. An original storyline. We've already mentioned the way The Walking Dead adapts its source material, but what if the franchise veered hard to the right?
Would be kind of cool, get on one of them shows.
A trilogy of films could mean that The Walking Dead will take the story of Rick Grimes into a completely new and original direction, one with no precedent in the stories created by comic creator Robert Kirkman and company.
Damn you for making me do this shit! This was you, not me!
Now, this could be a risky gamble, but the rewards could also be great, if the scripts are solid and the execution strong enough to capture our imagination.
He's dangerous, Rick, and he won't stop.
Number 3. Higher production values. There's been a lot of talk in recent years about the boom in cable television, and how many creative types have been drawn to the medium's long-form style of storytelling. There's also been a massive increase in how much money TV shows can spend to make them look as good as possible. Still, The Walking Dead has often dropped the ball in this department, utilizing some truly horrible CGI effects alongside the undeniably amazing makeup work of Greg Nicotero and his crew. The higher production values of feature-length movies could feasibly fix these problems, presenting visual effects that are fully up to snuff. Number 2. A reunion with the main group. Rick's departure in Season 9 wasn't easy for us to watch, and it was particularly difficult for the rest of the Grimes group, who, for all intents and purposes, believed that Rick died on the bridge.
I found him.
Now, although we don't know where Rick is going or what he's getting into, we just gotta assume that he's gonna try everything he can to return to Michonne, Judith, and the rest of his crew as soon as possible.
Judith Grimes.
The main question is gonna be what sort of obstacles will be in Rick's way, and how he's going to try to overcome them. Number 1. A happy ending? The exit of Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead didn't please everyone, especially not those who wanted to see the former policeman actually die a final death out there on the bridge on his own terms.
Oh, no. No.
Still, if we're gonna hope for a reunion with the main group after these 3 films are over, we also have to want a happy ending, or at least some form of closure.
But as the hours passed and nothing terrible happened, she stopped worrying and resolved to wait calmly and see what the future would bring.
If Andrew Lincoln is truly done with this franchise after these films, then getting to see how Judith has grown up and how his people have managed without him should hopefully put a satisfying cap upon an epic series run.
Endlessly I list them in the master game. Welcome to my world.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.